Shalom Uvracha. What's the main point of the Mishkan and later on the Mikdash? What's the fundamental purpose of the Mishkan that HaKadosh Baruch Hu instructs us to create? Says the Rambam, the main purpose of the Mishkan is Ashrash HaShchina, that the Shchina, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself should dwell among Klal Yisrael. The same Shchina that was revealed at Har Sinai, says the Rambam, is the same Shchina that continues to reside among us by means of the Mishkan. And that's why at the center of the Mishkan, says the Rambam, is the Aron HaBris that houses the Luchos HaBris that we received at Har Sinai. Because by means of the Mishkan, the same Shechina continues to dwell among us. The Ramban, the Ibn Ezra, the Rashbam, all of them go in the same direction. But by contrast with this, the Rambam and the Sefer HaChinuch, they say that the main point of the Mishkan is our Avodas HaKorbanos. The Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvos, Mitzvah Chaf, and his introduction to Sefer HaMitzvos, says that therefore the main vessel of the Mishkan is not the Aron, but rather the Mizbeach HaOlah, the altar on which we bring the sacrifices, and the other vessels that are part of the sacrificial service. He says there's no special mitzvah to form an Aron, to form the actual Aron that houses the Luchos, while according to the Ramban, there's a separate mitzvah. That's the main part of the Mishkan. Now on the one hand, the Ramban is in a Mefurish pasuk. The pasuk says, V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'soicham. The point of the Mishkan and the Mikdash, says the Torah, is that I should dwell among Klal Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says Chazal, asks us to create a house for Hashem in order that he should have a dira b'tachtonim, he should reside among us, among Klal Yisrael. But on the other hand, the entire book of Vayikra is all about what do we do in the Mishkan, and we bring karbanos. That's what we do. It seems to be that the main part of our relationship, of what we do in the Mishkan, is karbanos. How do we reconcile these two ideas? The Shechina on the one hand, and the karbanos on the other. But it seems that from HaKadosh Baruch Hu's perspective, what he wants to do is to give to Klal Yisrael. He wants the Shechina to be among us. He wants to give us his bounty, his blessing. That's why he needs the Mishkan. V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'soicham. But on the other hand, how does he want to give? He wants to give us as a part of a relationship, as a two-party relationship, not as giving that can efface, that can erase the other party as if he doesn't exist, as if he's just an object. But no, the other party is a real subject. He has to actually receive. It's a giving and receiving relationship. And in order to establish ourselves as a party in that relationship, in order to be a true receiver for that bounty that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to give, so we need to enact the Avodas HaKorbanos, the sacrificial service. That's how we bring ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's how we establish ourselves as receivers worthy of his blessing, of his bounty. And then he can give us as a part of that relationship, not a giving that erases the receiver, but a giving that's a part of that relationship. And that's why in Parashas Truma, where we're instructed in the creation of the entire Mikdash, we find the concept of choice emphasized again and again in the words Nediv a slave, Kol Nediv Liboy, someone who's generous of the heart. We participate in the creation of the Mishkan by means of our personal choice. Klal Yisrael has to choose to become receivers, because by means of making that choice, we ensure that we're not going to be erased when we actually receive. We ensure that the giving is a part of a two-way relationship with two subjects, HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. That's how he wants to give. That's how he wants his Shechina to be among us. But in order for the giving to be true, to be a part of the relationship, we need the Avodas HaKorbanos. So the Mishkan has both of these functions. It's Hashrash HaShechina, that's the ultimate purpose. But from our perspective, it's about Avodas Hashem, about bringing ourselves to the table, to be in a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and to be worthy of his giving. And this idea is so relevant to our everyday lives, both in our relationships with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but also with other people. Whether it's in a spousal relationship, or with family, or with friends, we're sometimes giving, but we're sometimes receiving. And specifically when we come to receive, we have to make a conscious decision, a choice, that this is a circumstance, this is a case in which we want to receive, in which we want to bring ourselves to be a party in a relationship which has giving and receiving. Sometimes we fall into a trap of victimhood. We fall into self-pity. We're hopeless and we're helpless and we need to receive, and then we risk self-effacement. We take the risk of losing ourselves, of going from being a somebody to being nobody. The way in which we can avert that risk, we can avoid that risk, is by choosing to make an action to receive, to bring ourselves as a party in a relationship and say, I'm worthy of receiving, I'm ready to receive, but receiving as a part of a two-way relationship in which we're a party and we're not going to be self-effaced by means of that giving. And this is what we learned from the Mishkan, from our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yes, Hashem wants to give us His infinite giving, His infinite bounty. But the way in which He wants to give us is through our presenting ourselves, our establishing ourselves as a party worthy of receiving. And that's what we do through our Avodas Hashem of the Korbanos, and we continue to do it today through our Avodas Hashem of our mitzvahs that we bring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a party, and we continue to receive the infinite bounty and blessing of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.